What's going on, everyone? Heads or Tails here. Now, I said I was going to end up doing everyday carry video, and that's what we're going to have for you today. Now, believe it or not, I actually do carry all of this right here in a pocket every single day. I've got a little bit of a large family, and I try to carry at least one piece for every person that I may have with me that day. Now, seems a little excessive, but I don't really carry change in my pockets either. So this kind of takes the place of that. But let's get into what else that I carry on a regular basis. And if you would, in the comments, kind of leave what y'all do. And let's just get that conversation going. Before we get into anything, I do want to put a little warning out there. I do carry a flashlight in my pocket, and it does have a strobe feature. So if anyone is prone to seizures or anything like that, I'm just going to go ahead and get that out of the way. That, please take care in watching this a little bit later on. Maybe, skip past that part or whatever if that's an issue. But and the other warning is, if you are not a fan of our Second Amendment, or, well, just flat out don't like the idea of it, this video is not going to be for you. Alrighty, now first things first, always in my pockets is, what I called Old Faithful. Now, after yesterday's video, I did make sure to go ahead and sharpen it up. Like I said, it's a very good knife. It just has a tendency to not hold its edge very well. Got to sharpen it quite often, but it doesn't seem to take a lot of material away when I do sharpen it either. So, and you can see it's definitely seen some wear and tear over the years. Now, with that one set aside, we once again, I'm going to show it just because, in case somebody missed it. But, obviously have my wallet that I carry with me everywhere. Now, in here, if I can get it without showing out too much there. There we go. We have this one here. Now, this is, I am a firm believer in the saying that 2 is 1, 1 is none. So me personally, I prefer to have 3, because I always like to have a backup of the backup. But with this one, you take that little spot right there, flip it back this way, that kicks out, fold it on around here, and snap it closed. Now, just for emergency situations, even down to cutting a seatbelt, Now, I know if you're the one stuck in the seat belt, it's not going to do you much good if it's in your pocket. That's why I have several backups. But if by chance, for some reason, that one's not on me or my other one, and I need to help somebody else out, there's always that one in my wallet that this one here will cut a seat belt real quick to get somebody out of there, if need be. Now then, my other one here. Now, some of this stuff, I live in a very nice town, and it's kind of a small town and stuff like that. So some of this stuff I don't really, it is everyday carry, but it's everyday carry when I go to actual town. Right here in this little spot that I'm at, everybody knows everybody. You don't really have to worry about a lot of stuff, even though, in my opinion, it's not a real good reason to let your guard down sometimes, but I do take it easier around here. Now, if I'm going to go to the towns that are either north of me or south of me, they're quite a bit larger. I take the extra precautions. My family safety is my number one, thing that I worry about. Was for any parent or any father or good husband and so on, that should be your main concern, is your family safety and everything. Now, I'm going to do a quick little shout out here. I am in no way affiliated with this channel. but I do follow them, and I definitely recommend anybody to get over there and check them out. And that's the Warrior Poet Society. John Lovell does an amazing job of covering all kinds of stuff and takes a very good stance, in my personal opinion, in the way he brings the material to people. There's just a lot of stuff to go over. They've actually even got their own channel as well, that you can get, their TV service, I should say, that you can sign up for and watch a lot of things through that way as well. But anyway, getting back to it here, we've got the big one that my wife got me. Now, like I said, this one here, if I'm going to town or something like that, I probably look sometimes like the crazy guy, but I'd rather look a little crazy and everybody in my care be safe than, well, the latter if something were to happen. Now, this one here is an absolutely great knife at a very affordable price. I've got some that are quite expensive, as I'm sure Wild West can account for. There are some knives out there that can get very expensive. I know some of the ones he's got are very, very nice. And, but any blade, when you need a cutting tool, is always better than not having one at all. So, always something to keep in mind. Now, with that, like I had said the other day, we do have a little bit more in here, and we're going to get into that today as well. Now, always nice to have a multi-tool as well. And this one is truthfully just a very cheap, it's very good, and I mean it's even got a textured grip on both sides here for if your hands are wet. But I mean, you never know when, I can't even tell you how many times, even just for small tasks, I've pulled this thing out and it's been a tremendous help. I used to be a mechanic, and having the right tool for the job always makes it simpler and easier. And it just makes it better all the way around. Now, in that same thing, we've also got, if I can get them out here. Like I said, I like backups upon backups. And there's this little bitty thing here. Now, if anybody has seen one of these before, yeah, another knife. And this one has gotten wet, evidently. But this is, I can sit here and bend it like that, so you can imagine how thin that blade is, but it is also just that. It is razor sharp. And then, of course, I have another thing from SOG, which, by the way, is a great company. Also not affiliated with them, but do love their products. Now, it's an emergency whistle on this end, and I'm going to have y'all take my word for it, because I'm not going to blow your eardrums out with this thing. But this down here used to be able to come on a lanyard and stuff, and I took that off and to stick it in there. But you can see this right here. This has actually got a ferro rod down the side of it here. So there's another way to start a fire. And of course, ain't gonna do it for me here. Of course, I'm trying to do it from behind a camera instead of paying attention to what I'm really doing here. So, but we'll probably do that. We'll do, a fire starting series sometime and go through all these different things, and I'll bring this back out again and we'll use it and show it off. Now, once again, always having a backup. What's the easiest way to start a fire? Always carry one in my pocket no matter what. You can see this one's been in there quite a while, but many guys out there that are ex-military and everything else will tell you, ferro rods and all other forms of fire starters are absolutely great to have. But when it comes down to it, for the effort and the weight and everything else, just carry a lighter. I mean, you never know when you might need it. Now this one here, I've actually got a zip tie that goes underneath this thing here, you know, its button. So that way this cannot depress in my pocket. Now this will slide off real easy, or I can take one of the knives and just pop it loose. But that keeps it from losing any of its fuel in my pocket as well. So no matter what, this thing is going to be full until I need it. So for anybody that hasn't seen that little trick yet, you just run your little zip tie underneath there and make it tight. And like I said, it will, if I put force on it, it will slide right on off there. But I don't really want to do that. But another thing that I carry, and this is one of the things that I did the warning about, is a flashlight. Now I've got fairly big hands, and if necessary, it will definitely do the trick for many things. Now this one's actually got you know, all of its points and everything on each end here, and it's definitely got a great grip on it. Now this here will break glass if necessary, or other things. It does have its deep pocket clip on it as well. This one here I really like, because if I can get it to show it, there we go. It actually has a lock on it as well. So I can have this thing on, but if that lock is on, no matter what, if I hit that button, well then, you know, I ain't got to worry about it. And of course this one comes with the different modes. Now I apologize about the camera's going to act funny here on me, but there we go. There's the dimmer mode, and then, okay, I'm going to go for it, so watch yourselves. There it is. Got its strobe feature as well. Now that combined with the points on the end and a self-defense situation can be extremely helpful. But it is also ultra bright if necessary, trying to find something, or just looking around, and you've got your dim setting as well. But another great thing to have is a great flashlight. Before I started carrying this as a mechanic, I always carried actually a couple pen lights, you know, for looking around in engine bays and stuff. And I've still got them, and sometimes I carry them, but I prefer this one. This is another fairly cheap one actually, but great solid construction. The batteries on this one, it takes a little bit specialer battery, so you know they're a little more expensive, but anybody that's into optics and stuff like that for their firearms will understand that situation. Them batteries are sometimes can be a little harder to find. But anyway, last and not least, the one thing, actually before we do, of course we always got keys. Everybody's got their sets of keys. Now I've got a little bit of you know, our paracord on here, and I actually need to talk to well, it used to be Mailman AG, and now it is Skull Stacks. I've seen some people have some stuff around there. I'm gonna have to send him an email or something like that. I've also got some bracelets and stuff, but I don't know. If anybody's never actually messed around with some paracord, there are many great types out there. They're extremely helpful to have cordage, but they've even got some new ones out now that not only have a fishing string in it, they've got a snare wire, and I think I recently seen one that had it's extremely good for, like, you know, tinder and stuff. Like, it fluffs up really well. But there's different kinds of paracords out there as well, and I'm sure he can go into a lot more detail into that than what I can. But and then I carry these, which it looks just like a little something here, but If anybody's ever heard of Ranger beads, now these are obviously not Ranger beads, but it's kind of my version of it. I'm able to count out, you know, while I'm going along if I need to, if I ever had that situation, and just another little thing to have on hand. And it's kind of hidden in plain sight. But anyway, now let's get to it, and I am sure if Pistol Packing Pilot is watching, he's going to like this part as well. So now this one here, this is my everyday carry. Now in the state that I'm in, you are allowed to open carry as well as your concealed carry and everything else. There are arguments for both sides. That can go for a later video and everything. But this one here, now we are going to go ahead and we are going to clear everything, because this one here does have one in it as well. And for anybody that wants to see, it is completely empty. There is nothing left in that thing, so we are safe. Okay. Now, there's a lot of different arguments out there on what people might think about this. But when it comes to my family's safety, like I said, it is the utmost importance. And now a lot of people will carry something a little smaller. I have, once again, big hands, and this one fits my hand very, very well. It is a full size. This is definitely not a concealed carry kind of one for the most part. This is the G17. It is Glock's MOS version as well. I've got the optic. Well, when I first got it, I was going to get an optic, and then I waited and waited, and I'm still waiting. But I've found a few that I like. But this one here carries 17. So if I have to, there's definitely plenty there to go around, even though I am very, very well versed with this. And then of course, top it off to make it 18. But going back to backups upon backups, then 2 is 1, 1 is none. I always prefer to have plenty. If it comes down to me or somebody else running out, I'd rather them run out first. But this has kind of been a basic rundown of everyday carry. Sitting out here, it actually looks like quite a lot to see it all splayed out like this, which is kind of funny because it doesn't ever seem to feel that way. But what do y'all carry? Do y'all carry just at least a pocket knife? I've seen people that had the special things that go between your fingers, you know, on your keys in case you need it. I mean, times are changing. Things are getting a little more tough out there. And what do you all do to protect yourselves? Do you carry a little silver just in case you may need it? You know, everybody in the silver community, for the most part, I've heard has got at least one, you know, pocket piece. But do you carry more than one? Are you lucky enough to maybe even carry a gold piece? That would be cool. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'm going to get this all put up, and y'all have you a great day. Thank you for watching.